This is Kate and Pete Williams. Hello to you both.
Hello to you.
And the reason why we're here, if I can come to Kate for the answer, Kate.
Yep.
The reason why we're
here is to see if this particular peak, Glyder Fawr, is in fact 999 metres, as shown on Ordnance Survey maps, or is 1,000 metres. And if it's 1,000 metres, then what are the implications for a race that I'm involved in the organising of, which is the 1,000 metres peaks race. Will we have to involve this peak in the route, and what will that mean in terms of distance and safety and organisation and so on?
Now, of course, you're part of the organising committee, I believe.
That's right, yes.
And is it part of the Glyder Club?
Glyder Club, yes.
So,
yes.
Now, the name of the race is?
Well, it's the Welsh 1,000 metres peaks race or the Snowdonia Summits Marathon, known by both names.
And is it held on an annual basis?
Yes, it's held every year on the first Saturday in June.
How long has it been going annually?
This next year, 2011, will be the 40th.
The 40th year?
40th year.
Yeah. So, and of course, there's only 4 current 1,000 metre peaks in Wales, isn't there?
Yes.
With Snowdon, Cribydysgol, also known as Garnedd Ugain, and Carnedd Llywelyn and Carnedd Dafydd.
Yes.
But no, I don't want to leave Pete out of this too much, so I'll come out again so we can see Pete. Now, you've had quite an interesting journey up here, haven't you, Pete?
Well, we had a little bit of fun coming up here. We walked, we caught buses, but we started off by flying up from Oxford into Carnarvon. And so that made it very entertaining. It was lovely to fly over this area because it's absolutely stunning scenery.
Now, of course, you're both based in, husband and wife, both based in Oxford. And another, I believe, one of the organisers is Harvey Lloyd that lives close to the Penygwyd.
It is indeed, yes.
Yes, he lives in the house that's actually next door to the Penygwyd.
Straight next door?
Yes, Hafford y Gwynt is there in the house, which did belong to a chap called Lockwood, who was a well-known Victorian climber and philanthropist, I think. If anyone's involved in climbing, they'll recognise Lockwood's Chimney as one of the classic wet rock climbs of North Wales. And he owned the house and the lake opposite it, and Harvey's had that house for some years now.
So is Harvey on the organising committee as well?
Yes, absolutely, he is, yes.
How many people are on that committee, Kate?
I'm not entirely sure, but people have got different responsibilities. It's all a volunteer basis. So some people are looking particularly at safety, others at the route, the marshalling, the aspects of orienteering that are involved. And I'm looking at sponsorship along with somebody else who's looking at publicity.
And of course, it's not just a fell race either, is it?
No, it's a fell race and a mountaineers race. Two separate classes. Mountaineers need to wear boots, have a pack, and carry certain pieces of equipment for safety. And in fact, there's more than one route. The long route does all 4 peaks and starts actually close to the beach at Aber, ending on Snowdon. And there's a shorter race which comes from Ogwyn, which is a little less of a challenge, but still quite difficult.
And of course, if I can just come over to your left just for a second, Kate, because we can see the pole here, just to as you look to the left of Kate, and here's the antennae, and that's the very highest point of Glyder Fawr, and the base of the antennae is aligned to the highest point. What ramifications do you think there would be if Glyder Fawr proved to be over 1,000 metres?
Well, there's various things that we could do as an organising committee. We could stay with the race as it is now and call it the traditional 1,000 metres peaks race, or we could extend it to include Glyder Fawr in there, which would make it longer and harder, and we would certainly need to look into the safety aspects of it, because there's some quite steep cliffs over to the Snowdon side of this particular ridge. And I think probably what we would do is to carry out a survey of people who've taken place in the race previously, and ask them if they would like us to change the race to include that.
It would be an interesting outcome, wouldn't it? And if you did survey some of the past competitors.
Yes, interesting to know if they wanted to keep the race the same because they were wanting to compare themselves or their companions with in the previous year's results, or whether it's the challenge of doing the 1,000 metres that's attracting them.
A little bit of a silly question, because of course on current maps Glyder Fawr has an absolute height of 999 metres. But because of that is so close to the 1,000 metre mark, has it ever been included within the Snowdon Summits Marathon at all, or not?
No,
Never ever?
No.
Because one of the current routes, if not the current route, bypasses it to the... It would be to the east, wouldn't it? Is it
quite a long way to the east, yes.
coming over the miners' track?
Yes.
Yes.
And it goes down towards Penygrid, would it?
It goes down to Penny Pass.
Penny Pass.
The miners' track goes down to Penyguri, but actually you break off that across a bit of marshy land and the edge of the lake to come in just behind Penny Pass.
Yeah.
And that becomes an important control point. Again, one of these safety things is we can actually count people. We can count them in and we can count them out, or is it the other way around? But basically it gives us a way of ensuring that we've got all the people that took part, and we can also impose a time control, because this is a long race for a lot of the mountaineers. I mean, the fell runners do it in what, 3.5 hours?
No, but a little bit longer than that, I think. So
3.5 to 4. Probably the first mountaineers are going to come in about 5 hours. Some of them, and we've both done it in the past. First attempt, I think it took me 9 hours to do it. It's a long day, so I almost wish someone had timed me out at Penny Pass, save going all the way up that mountain.
But if the route was changed, that's quite a significant change, isn't it? Because it would add on a good few kilometres.
It's going to add
and ascent.
Probably another 1,000 metres of ascent, I would think.
Yeah.
Because what's the current route, ascent and also length at the moment?
Approximately 22 miles, 9,000 feet of ascent.
Yeah.
And I think this would probably add in another 3 miles, 4 miles. Might bring it up to true marathon distance, in fact.
Well,
and adding in another 3,000 feet, or probably not quite as much as that.
I think it'd add another 1,000 feet.
Another 1,000 or 1,500 feet.
So it would be quite a significant change, wouldn't it?
It makes a hard race even harder.
It's just the contemplation of doing it. I suffered quite a bit coming up here today, and to do all of that in the times that they do
the wonderful
it's quite
thing
incredible.
of it is it's run at the beginning of June, and so you have in your mind lovely weather. Well, it's been known to snow during this race, or equally bake people near to death. It's extraordinary range. And 2 years ago, I was doing marshalling on Cribidisgal, and it was blowing gale force winds, about 2 degrees, lashing with rain, and people were coming up there shivering, shaking, and going, "It's a great race, it's a great race." So please, sort of the sense of satisfaction of people doing it is remarkable, and you think, you've got to be completely mad to want to do this.
The organisers each year get a lot of emails and letters saying, "Thank you so much for organising this, we enjoyed it so much," and they realise there's quite a lot of effort goes into making sure it runs properly and it runs safely. And that's appreciated.
And it's a real challenge for people.
It is.
Because it's also an orienteering race. In other words, the way is not marked. You have to find your way to the tops of the summits, and the hardest ones are on the Carnedai, because the paths are a multitude of different ways that you can go up to the top, and a multitude of different ways in which you can get lost. So that's always quite amusing. In fact, this race has also been combined with the army throughout its history. So there's always teams of army competitors, and I've in the past been coming over the tops of the Carnedai, just getting, I think, somewhere near the top in thick mist. You can barely see your hand in front of your face, and I'm thinking, I think the top's about 300 metres up there. 4 army guys come rushing up the side of the hill from the left and go, "Where's Carneg Llewellyn?" I go, "I think it's just up there." No, and off they go down the hill the other side. 2 minutes later, I'm on the top.
Well, many thanks for talking about the Snowdon Summits Marathon, and also I think it'll be very interesting to see what the process data comes out for Glyder Fawr and to see whether it retains its under 1,000 metre mark or whether it's over.
Indeed.
So Kate and Pete, for now, many thanks.
Thank you.
Welcome.